Hi, welcome to another lesson for beginning piano. My name is Kevin Goode and I'm from the William Grant Still Art Center, and today we're going to continue talking about the piano. Last week we talked about learning by ear. The last couple of weeks we were working on learning by ear. Today I want to kind of switch gears and go back and show you guys a little bit more about the music. So if you ever encounter music, they're just things to know. And also, it helps. Playing by ear is awesome, and I want you guys to keep practicing it. But I do want to introduce some music notation to you guys as well, so that way you can be fully rounded in the knowledge of music and continue. I'm basically giving you different elements, but hopefully you'll take them and learn more and just continue to grow with them. Okay, so let's get started. Last time when we worked with notation, which was a while back, we worked with this here, and basically we were talking about the rhythmic values. We talked about the quarter notes, half notes, and also the rest and whole notes. All right, today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna talk about notes. Okay. All right. So let's delete that, and come over here and delete this as well. So that way we're working with a clean slate here. Now I'm going to come over here and we're going to start. Okay, so the first note I want you to know about is C. Okay, this C is very important. You'll notice that it is between the treble clef, which is the right hand, and the bass clef, which is the left hand. This is sometimes called the G clef, and this is called the F clef. Why is it called the G clef, and why is it called the F clef? Because in this circle, this second line here goes right through that circle, and that line is G. Any note that's on that line, then a note head that's on that line would be G. And then in between these two dots here, basically this line, let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to scoot it over just maybe even a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. So that should be easier to see. So anyway, this line right here is G, and this line in between these two dots is F. So this is C. The thing that's important about this particular C, if you're sitting at the piano, remember you always sit at the center of the piano. And basically that C would be, if I come over here I can show you guys the keyboard, if I can get this to work here. There we go. Okay, so if I play that C, that is middle C. That is basically in the very center of the piano. Any piano that you might sit at, if it's a piano that has 88 keys, that's going to be middle C. Okay, and so middle C is always in between the treble clef and the bass clef. Excuse I'm like bass clef, but anyway, in between the treble clef and the bass clef. All right, next, after that C, let's come over here and let's make a couple of more. Okay, yeah. Let's delete that right there. We'll leave the C. Okay, next, just like we were talking, you have the 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And basically, we have C, and we're going to have D, E. We want that to be a quarter note E, though. So, oops. And then F, G, A, B. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, let's get back over here. Let's fix that. B and C. Okay, so we worked on the C scale not too long ago, and with that C scale, we have C right here, which basically is just beneath the treble clef, and we have D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So let me do this. I'm going to add some notes so that way you guys can actually see what's going on. Let's see. I'll put it right here. Okay. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right, so there we go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So how do you remember stuff like that? There's a couple of ways to help you remember it. One way we're going to go through here is basically instead of looking at all the lines and being overwhelmed, let's delete this. You can basically first look at the lines and then look at the spaces. So first we're going to start with these spaces. All right, so if I come over here and I go F, A, C, E. Okay, so we have F, A, C, and E. Okay, that's a way to basically remember it. And basically, if you look at it on the keyboard, it's going to be every other note. So if I come over here and I go back down, here we go. F, A. Look at look at what's happening right there. We have one white key in between. Once again, F, A, and then we go C. So you look at the difference between A and C. There's once again a white key in between. So F, A, C, and then we're going to go to E. There we go. So come back over here, and once again we have right there F, A, C, and E. Okay? So, and if I were to put the notes there so that way you guys can see them, let's come over here. So there we go. F, A, C, E. Okay, what does that spell? It spells face. So what's important about that? Basically, it's a way to help you remember the lines in the spaces or the notes in the spaces on the staff. So if you can remember face, we all have one. We have a face, you know? And you remember that if you're an English speaker, you can remember that spelled F-A-C-E. You basically know all of the spaces on the treble clef staff. Okay? So that's an easy way. That's a way that both kids and adults help them to learn how to read notes. And then for the lines, that's a little bit different. So let's delete this and delete each of these. For the lines, if we come over here, oops, there we go. And I'm going to, I thought I was going to. Okay, there we go. E, G, B, D, F. All right. Now let's take a look at that. Here we have E, G, B, D, F. Now let's look at that on the keyboard and see what that is. Here we go. E, G, B, D, F. Okay, you notice what's going on here. Once again, just like with the spaces, it is every other white key. So that's another way to help remember what's going on. E, G, there's a white key in between. B, there's a white key in between G and B. And then next is D, D, and then F. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, that's another way to help you remember, and then we'll come over here and do exactly what we did last time. We will write down the note names so that way you can see them. Okay, there we have E, G, B, D, and F. Okay, so if you can remember F-A-C-E for face, that's all of the notes inside of the spaces, and then E, G, B, D, F, that's all the notes on the line. So what I was taught when I was growing up, E, G, B, D, F stands for every good boy does fine. Okay, so now we're in the 20th century, so that might be kind of, I don't know. It's not thinking about the girls or the women. So you guys can think of something else. Every good boy does fine, or you could figure out what E, G, B, D, F means for you. For most people, it's every good boy does fine. But if you can think of something else, let me know. That would be great. I can start using that as well. So this is basically a way to help you memorize the notes, because you can play by ear, continue working on that, practicing by ear. Also start to work on the notes. One of the pieces, it's not a Willy Bobo piece, but it is a piece that is fairly well known in America. But basically, here we go. This is My Favorite Things. And we're gonna work on this a little over the next week or two. And basically, we're gonna start with the notes on the staff. Everything is in between what we learned today, between F-A-C-E and E-G-B-D-F. But next week we will pick it up with My Favorite Things, and basically I've written it out, and then I've included this on the top. A lot of what are called lead sheets. Lead sheets will use both the melody, this is the melody right here, and then up above they'll tell you which chords to play, the harmony. We probably won't play the full harmony, but we'll play the bass note, which would be E right there, F sharp, and so forth. But this is a good way to both use your ear and both start to learn about notation at the same time. So you guys practice on your note reading, practice on E, G, B, D, F, Every Good Boy Does Fine, and also F-A-C-E, face, for the spaces. And then I will see you next week. Okay? Take it easy.